This bouquet of long-stemmed calla lilies combined with beargrass has a smart, contemporary feel and would be the perfect match for a bride wearing a slim-fitting, full-length satin dress. Designed to trail over the bride's arm, the bouquet features bunches of beargrass combined with white calla lilies. It uses flowers in bud at the tip, graduating to fully open blooms. The display is finished with satin ribbon binding taken all the way to the ends of the stems, trimmed with knotted trails of wired organza ribbon. First of all, we're going to take some beargrass and separate out the stems. Wipe them with a damp cloth. They tend to be quite dirty at the base. Be careful of your fingers when you do this. The edges of the grass can be sharp. Take 7 or 8 strands of grass and put them together in a bunch, with the dark green shiny side of the grass facing upwards. Cut some short pieces of clear sticky tape and use these to bind the stems together. Tape them about 20 centimetres up from the base, then cut off the lower 10 centimetres of the stems. Repeat until you've made 5 to 7 bunches. Make more than you'll need, so you don't have to stop halfway through assembling the bouquet to make more. Take some more strands of beargrass, clean them, then separate out 5 or 6 strands and form into a loop, taping to hold. Trim away any excess grass below the tape and make 3 to 5 bundles. Odd numbers tend to work better in arrangements. Clear your work surface before moving on. Cut a metre length of garden string and form a loop with a double knot at one end, and cut a length of adhesive floristry tape or pot tape. Lay out your conditioned lilies on your work surface. Place them in order of flower head size. We're going to use 7 flowers. As they have chunky stems, it can be hard to hold more than that in a bouquet. Taking the flower with the tightest bud and using this as your first stem, start to form the bouquet over one arm. Lay the stem along your arm, then add some beargrass on top of the stem and tuck another bunch in below. Take another lily stem, the next one in size, and add it in too, as well as some more beargrass. You want to actually spiral the stems, but without turning the bouquet in your hand. So add material underneath the stems so that it points from bottom left to top right, and anything on top points from bottom right to top left as you look at it over your arm. Keep adding the flower stems in order of size, interspersed with beargrass, and move the flower heads down the bouquet as you work, keeping a hold on all the stems about halfway down. When you have only 2 flowers left, the most fully open blooms, add in some beargrass loops and these 2 flowers with their heads close to your original hand position. Adjust the arrangement, adding in more beargrass loops if needed, and turning the flower heads slightly to show their best angle. Try the bouquet over either arm to see how it looks from different angles. It's also worth checking how it looks in a mirror, as this is the angle the guests and photographer will view it from. You're aiming for balance as well as a crescent shape effect, so that the longest flower stems form an arc over the arm. Use your pre-prepared string to tie the stems, threading it through the loop and wrapping it around several times before tying. Lay the bouquet down to do this, hanging the flower heads over the edge of your work surface to avoid bruising them. Tape over the binding point with your pre-prepared tape. Check the bouquet over your arm and decide where to cut the stems. Don't cut them too short at this point, as you can trim them again later. They need to be long enough for the bouquet to lay comfortably along your arm. You can use scissors to cut them as the stems are fleshy. Cut another piece of tape to bind down the stems to make them easier to handle and avoid them splaying out. Check the length of the stems again and trim if necessary. Wipe the cut ends of the stems to remove any excess moisture, then use a hot glue gun to put a dab of glue over the tape closest to the flower heads. Press the end of the broad satin ribbon into the glue, then bind over the stems, overlapping the ribbon and pulling it taut as you work. The stems are long, so move your holding hand down as you work to keep a firm grip on the bouquet. Take the ribbon level with the cut edge of the stems, then cut it, fold the raw edge under and secure with pearl-headed pins, pushing them into the stems pointing upwards rather than straight through. You can either leave the bouquet as it is or soften the effect with organza ribbon. Start again at the top of the stems with the broad wired organza ribbon. Gather up the edges of the ribbon at the raw edge to cut out a little of the wire to prevent it pricking the bride's fingers. Then wrap the ribbon around the stem. Don't use glue to secure it, just wrap it over a couple of times at the top, then bind down the stem to the end. Cut the ribbon, Fold under the raw edge, trimming the wires if necessary, and secure the folded edge with a row of pearl-headed pins. Lay the bouquet down so the flowers hang over the edge of the work surface. Cut a length of wired organza ribbon, fold back 1/3 of it, and gather up the ends so you can cut out some of the wire. Then fold each end in half and clip across diagonally to form V shapes. Tie the ribbon around the top of the bouquet stems, making sure the tails are of different lengths. Make a single knot and secure with pearl-headed pins. Then scrunch the tails a little to give a bit more movement and flow to them.